Hey guys, Felipe here, and welcome to another video. And again, following up on my why I hung up my uniform. This will be part three, I believe. In this video, I really want to talk to you guys about awards, and the award system in the Marine Corps, and why this was an issue for me, right? And there's different types of awards for those of you that aren't Marines or in the service, and a lot of commands require you like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days to like submit it before it gets approved, right? So they want that much lead time in a fucking award. Excuse my French, guys, and I'll give you guys a disclaimer. This is just my opinion, what I saw in my lenses, right? And why I have such a disdain for it, or why I'm so passionate about it. And so if I curse, excuse my French. I know a lot of you guys speak French out there, so let's get right into it. So after every duty station, if you did a good job and you went above and beyond for the most part, stood out, somebody will write you up for an award. All right. If you're a junior Marine or a junior service member, if you're a staff NCO and officer, for the most part, you're probably going to write your own award. Okay. Just honestly, because from what I've seen, people generally don't give a fuck. The leaders, I mean. So the leaders, though, will tell you to drink the fucking Kool-Aid and tell you, like, hey, write awards, make sure you're awarding the Marines, recognizing the Marines, all the fucking bullshit, right? Everything that you should do as a good leader, right? As a good manager, as a good person, for recognizing individuals for doing a great job, going above and beyond. The problem is that these leaders above my rank, for those of you that don't know and haven't seen any of my other videos, I was a captain, 7 years in the Marine Corps, did just over 7 years. I was getting close to the majors board. Probably would have seen major a year and a half, 2 years after, if I would have stayed in. So that would have put me in about 9 years. All right, so any rank above mine, for the most part, they don't give a fuck. All right, they don't care about the junior Marines. They don't care about the staff NCO and officers, company grade officers. Okay, company grade, that's your second lieutenant, first lieutenant, captain. A lot of them actually believe that we shouldn't get awards and we shouldn't get recognized for shit, right? But that the junior Marine should, and I get that. But technically, you're still a junior Marine as a company grade officer, to be honest. That's just the way I see it. But you're still a 23-year-old fucking kid, 24-year-old, as a second lieutenant, as a first lieutenant. So the problem is that they expect you to, and they hold you accountable to all these awards, making sure the Marines get recognized, and because it helps with retention and good morale and stuff like that. But they forget that we fucking rotate out too. Your staff NCOs, your officers also rotate, right? And they are your subordinates. If you want them to do a good job, you need to be doing the same fucking thing. So for you majors, you lieutenant colonels, and above, that are asking for 90 fucking days for an award, a fucking 2-page piece of paper, 3-page, that much lead time to review it, sign it, like that's unsat. Okay, like that is just unsatisfactory. That goes against like your commitment, because at that point you're not doing grunt work, right? You're not in the weeds. You're up here managing your people, making sure they're getting awarded, making sure that it's not taking 120 days, 90 days, 6 fucking months to get an award. All right. And I'll give you guys, and I use me as an example because obviously, like, I'm no longer in the Marine Corps. I did my time for my family. And I want to get this out there because you guys need to know what you're getting yourselves into, and maybe it'll spread awareness to kind of better some of the issues that I saw. And guess what? No matter how long I stayed in, I wouldn't have been able to impact it, right? You got people that have been in 20 plus years, 30 years that can't even make change, right? And I wonder why. And in my last video, I talked about the quote from Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight, where he says, "You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain." And that's what's happening, right? These senior leaders become villains. Why? Because they have so much fucking power and authority, and it goes to their head, and they forget where they came from. All right, and that's something that you guys gotta fucking remember. They can't forget where you came from. And I'll continue to bring this shit up because I came from nothing. I had $28. I'm sorry, $23 in my fucking bank account. It was something like that. I'll share it. I'll post my fucking bank statement. I have the bank statement the month I went to the fucking Marine Corps. I was broke. I had no money, no car, no bed. Okay? Can't forget where you came from. Stay humble, be humble, and take care of your people. That's what's the important part, right? So, at Headquarters Battalion, that was my first unit. It was awesome. Good leaders. They took care of their people. And that's probably as good as it got in my military career. Went over to the Infantry Battalion, 2nd Battalion, 4th Marines. And that shit was just ass backwards, to be honest. And even the follow-on unit, right, that I went to, and I'll get into that. But at 2-4, I busted my ass off, went above and beyond, held extra collateral billets, deployed. I actually extended my tour at 2-4 to make sure that I deployed with them, because I did the workup, right? I deployed with them, and I made sure that we succeeded in our area, right? I was a supply officer. I made sure that all the supplies they had, all the equipment they had, the materials, the maintenance, all the parts were ordered, that they received them on time, that we were on top of our shit. The budget was in line. We weren't doing any fraud, waste, or abuse. I went above and beyond, and I got a handshake when I left. I have no problem with that, but there were officers there, like the S2 officer, other fucking lieutenants that didn't do anywhere near the amount of work that I did, and they got fucking awards when we left. And that's what bothered me, right? Because like, who wrote the awards for them? Their captains, right? Who was my senior, my XO, my CO. I didn't get no plaque. I didn't get no coin. I got a fucking handshake when I left. And I talked to the CO. So when you're transitioning to a different unit, or you're moving away to your EAS and wherever it is, you usually have you sit down with the CEO. You have your like exit interview. And I told him, I was like, "Hey sir, I gave you 110% every fucking day for the last 2 years." And he said, "I know," and I really appreciated that. Cool. I'm cool with that, right? Like, but don't be giving all these other people awards and not hand me shit when like I did way more fucking work than anybody there. And I swear, like, if anybody, like, I would love for anybody at the unit to be like, no, you fucking did not. Because apples to apples, you guys ain't got shit on with the amount of work that I put in there. Especially as a supply officer. But going back, they gave me a handshake, right? I actually wrote my own award, pretty much. I sent it to a captain that was still there with the S4 officer, who she believed that we don't deserve awards. Officers don't deserve awards, shouldn't get awards. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird. Kind of dumb in my opinion. But she decided to actually submit this award for me. I got this award almost a year later. All right, guys, I already had left. I was already at my next unit. Had been about a year. I never put the ribbon on. All right, I didn't. It was a Navy Achievement Medal that they gave me. I didn't put no fucking ribbon on. All right, I didn't put no. Well, I already had a NAM from my last unit. I didn't put no fucking star on there. You know what? Because I didn't fucking care. If the Marine Corps, and I say the Marine Corps because those leaders, the Colonel, the XO, they've been in 20 plus years. The CO had been in 24 years. The XO had been in about 15 years. OPSO, right, over 10. These people who are representing a world-class organization don't give a fuck about their officers. The people who are in direct contact with the enlisted, who can impact and maintain like those good relationships and morale to help boost the morale and help boost retention. Like, if you're not taking care of us and we're your first line of defense, like, you're failing. Like, how do you not know? How do you not see this, right? They were fucking lieutenants once, and they were fucking junior Marines once. For those that were prior enlisted, right? They forgot where they came from. Bottom line, like, they got so far up and lost their fucking way that, you know, they forgot where they came from, and they forgot that they were once that fucking lieutenant, grinding their ass off, and for whatever reason they became the villain. Because now you got this good officer that got out, where all the junior Marines were like, "Why are you getting out, sir? Like, we need good officers to stay." It's like, well, you want good officers, but like, they don't give a fuck about us up here, right? Anything above the captain rank, like the majors, the XOs, they don't care. All right. And so there are some that do care. There are some that don't care. I won't say all of them, right? But generally, from what I see, I don't give a fuck. Most of them don't care. That's why you get a lot of Marines that leave with no awards, right? In my time, I wrote over 40 awards, easily. Over 40 awards. NAMs, one Navy Com, several commendation awards, several letter of appreciations, like all that junk. I did all that, right? I took care of my Marines. Made sure they were recognized, made sure they were awarded, and the same wasn't done for me. But you can't expect that, right, from these senior leaders. And I'll go to my follow-on story because I don't have just one example, right, guys? I'm obviously talking about this topic because it's a big issue. And I think it directly contributes to the retention. And that's why we have shitty-ass retention, right? So I get to my next unit, right? I didn't get no award, nothing when I left the infantry battalion, which is cool. I don't care. I went, did my job, I got paid for it. And there was other lieutenants that didn't do anywhere near the amount of work I did and got awarded for it. And they got paid for it, right? So I went to Marine Corps Facility Quantico. That was my third duty station, my third unit that I was at. And I have my write-up. And you know what, guys? I'm actually going to probably share it because I want you guys to see the amount of work I put in. And I did my write-up. I did my own write-up because nobody did it for me. Even though I got told I was one of the best supply officers they've ever worked with, best company grade, supply officer, all the fucking verbal, all the positive verbal stuff, right? But they couldn't take the time to write an award where I had written awards or recognitions for over 20 Marines in my 2.5 years that I was there. When they preach, take care of your Marines, make sure you're recognizing them and doing all these things, but my leaders couldn't do that for me, right? And even though I wrote my own award, they had to do nothing but to fucking submit it. Maybe a couple edits, all right? The Adj maybe red pen it a little bit. If you guys don't know who the Adj is, he's pretty much a glorified executive assistant and makes their fucking coffee, all right? He does his edits, and then, they submit that stuff. Yes, that's a shot at the fucking adjutants, all right? All right. Did my own award, submitted it, gave it to them before. I gave it to them with plenty of time, to be honest. The colonel for the base, Colonel Brooks, needed like a 90-day for a Navy Navy Commendation Medal, which is one above the NAM, the Navy Achievement Medal. Or 60 days. I'm pretty sure it was 60 days. They wanted 60 days. Guys, I've been out of the Marine Corps. I've been out of the Marine Corps since December 1st. I've been away from the unit since June 6th, something like that. So I've been away from the unit now and out of the Marine Corps, right? I've been away for like 10 months. 10 months. And I have a friend who's still there and is telling me that my award is still in routing. Still in routing. Guys, I've already left the fucking Marine Corps. The fucking commandant gave me my thank you for your service. Like it. My certificate. What are you guys fucking doing over there? And I don't understand why it's so hard. Where I saw awards from that unit that were nowhere near the level of detail, the level of work that was put into that, and they got their fucking awards approved by the previous CEO, and maybe this CEO just got to stick up his ass, right? And CEO, commanding officer, on both levels, right? But guys, 10 months. There's no way it should take 10 fucking months to approve an award, especially if it was already written for them. Guys, leaders, colonels, if you guys are fucking never watching this shit, you guys aren't fucking meeting the standard. You guys are not meeting the standard, and you guys uphold the standard, and you're not even meeting your own standard. And you guys can sit here and say, well, all these things. Like, no, fucking piece of paper. The work is on the piece of paper. Sign that goddamn thing, and award the Marines. And maybe retention will go up. All right. So that I'm very passionate about that because, guys, if I could share with you some of the awards, same equivalent award that was given to some of the other captains that were there, nowhere near the amount of work that I put in. Apples to apples, my fucking apple is way shinier, way tastier, baby. You can't compare. They don't compete. I was top. Top. So, guys, the award system is fucking ass backwards in the Marine Corps, okay? And the people holding that shit up, it's the staff NCO and the company grade officers. They're the ones doing what they can to make sure that the junior Marines are getting recognized, awarded, which directly contributes to morale, contributes to retention, right? But when you got these senior leaders that forgot where they came from and don't fight for a better change, and you know why? Because they can't. They tell you, right? Like, stay in, and then once you get to that rank, you'll be able to make that change and implement, all these new things. Bull fucking shit, because you're in that position now. How many changes have you made? Zero, baby. So, guys, awards, big issue in the Marine Corps. Absolutely one of the reasons I got out. And it wasn't even for me. I went, did my job, and got paid for it. Right? That's the way I saw it. But what they're not holding themselves accountable. These senior leaders, these majors, these colonels, lieutenant colonels, they're not holding themselves accountable, but are willing to fucking hold you accountable. Your company grade officers, staff NCOs, junior Marines, they're willing to hold them accountable any time of the day, but will not hold themselves accountable. It's fucking baloney. All right, guys. Anyways, I'm here at work. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys agree with what I'm saying in regards to the award system, please like, subscribe. I got more content for you guys to come. I'm going to do some interviews with some Marines that were prior service, some Marines that I served with, to give you guys their insights, their feedback, and how they feel, right? And kind of spread this out there so that maybe these leaders will actually make the change for those future junior Marines, future leaders to come. All right, guys, have a good day and enjoy. Peace.